Before thousands of Bahamians and visitors can jump into line come May 7th to participate in the second annual Bahamas Carnival Road March, they must decide what they're going to jump in. Next Saturday, March 5th, the Bahamas Carnival Band Owners Association and the Bahamas National Festival Commission will team up to give the public a unique opportunity to see most of the costumes in a fashion show at a combined launch event on Awa Key. And they're calling on musicians, truck owners, security companies, designers, seamstresses, sponsors, art and craft suppliers to come out and network with them.
Last year, we had no less than 6,500 persons on this parade, up to, at some point, 8,000 persons. This is not only foreigners, but mostly Bahamians the first year. As we move along, like other festival in the region, you'll have greater participation of foreigners coming in. We put on the best show possible last year for the first time. This is a very lucrative industry, but it's very expensive for us at the beginning. It will take us about 3 years to really reach the profitability where we can fund this on our own.
The 6-hour event, which begins at 2 p.m., will include music, dancing, food, and drinks. This year, there are 25 registered road fever companies or bands with the Bahamas National Festival Commission. President of the Band Owners Association, Dario Tirelli, says while sales have been encouraging, he is urging those looking to participate to get their costumes sooner than later. Tirelli also expressed optimism about this year's parade, saying they've learned from last year's mistakes and will put on a fantastic show.
We started with a jump, and then, of course, Bahamians are last minute again, but the bands are doing their best. Every band is now, of course, it's a competition, but we're working together to make sure that, we don't want to overextend ourselves. So we have good conversation amongst ourselves. If you figure you can do 200 costumes, work with 200 costumes. And so every band is in the public. But persons are signing up. From last year, persons are signing up. The bands are building good relationship, a good following. And the bands here today, they can contest for that. We had to spend money outside of what we thought we didn't have to spend to make sure that we have a following, because we do have a small population. And so you also have to spend a lot of money internationally. So funding is very critical in this for the first 3 years for us.
From the crime beat, police believe they may have cracked an armed robbery ring. On Friday, they arrested a suspect in several recent armed robberies. The adult male is believed to be one of 2 masterminds behind a string of armed robberies in which a number of persons were robbed of their vehicles, cash, and jewelry for the past few weeks. Additionally, police need your help in locating the other suspect, Brandon Cooper of Plantol Street. They say Cooper is armed and extremely dangerous and is strongly advising members of the public not to approach him. Instead, contact police immediately with any information. Police wish to remind members of the public that it is a criminal offense to harbor wanted criminals, and persons providing a safe haven for criminals will be prosecuted. Also at 4 a.m. this morning, police received a report of a shop break-in in progress on Wolf Road. When police arrived, they observed 4 males fleeing from a store with firearms. A chase ensued and one robber with a sharp object was caught. He was shot during the arrest and taken to hospital, where he remains in stable condition. Police examined the store and discovered that the suspects smashed a glass door, entered and stole a large amount of cash. And early this morning, officers on patrol on Madeira Street saw a group of males standing behind a club. The males, on seeing the officers, fled on foot. The officers gave chase but were unable to catch the males. Police then checked the area and uncovered a .40 pistol. Also, 12 suspects were arrested for questioning in reference to murder, firearms, and dangerous drugs. Investigations into all of these matters continue.
If you know of a crime, please call Crime Stoppers at 328-8477, toll free 242-300-8477. You can also check them out on www.crimestoppersbahamas.com. Let's stop the crime before it's your time.
Kairos.com is a facial recognition software company based in Miami, Florida. Its CEO and founder Brian Brackeen was able to build a company voted by Forbes magazine as one of the top 25 startup companies, and it successfully raised $5 million from investors in Miami and California. And as Jimenita Swain tells us tonight, they have 7,000 customers in 40 countries, and it all started with a dream. It's something its CEO hopes young tech-savvy people right here in the Bahamas have the courage to do on their own.
Cairo's CEO and founder Brian Brackeen was a judge during the recent BTC hackathon, but he shared how his company remains competitive in facial recognition software. He explains how it works and who can benefit by using it.
Software that does emotion recognition and facial recognition. So essentially, the camera actually knows your emotions just by looking at your face. We use that for advertisers for a number of different reasons. For me, it's all about taking a risk.
So give us an idea. I look very funny on the screen here, but tell me what's actually happening.
You look great. You look great. So what you see here is we know your gender, and so it says female there. It knows if you're wearing glasses or not. It knows how your head is positioned and if you're blinking or not. But even beyond that, it knows when you're smiling, surprised, if you dislike something, and if you're paying attention or not to this particular content. This is quite often, again, used for advertisers and people like that. We're checking for your emotions every 250 milliseconds, so 4 times a second. It's extremely fast and extremely accurate.
With such a precise operation, Brackeen said there are a number of uses it can be applied to by companies.
So healthcare companies, understanding emotions and also understanding who someone is. So let's say you come into a hospital and maybe unconscious, maybe schizophrenic, issues where you can't say to somebody, this is who I am. They can actually just hold up an iPad and then your whole medical record will come up. And so they say, oh, this person has a latex allergy. I'll take off these gloves and I'll help them that way. So it really changes everything. In payments, when you go to pay, using facial recognition to say, okay, this person, this credit card really do go together. So yeah, there's a number of different use cases that are really changing the world.
Overall, Brackeen says he knows all too well that risk must be taken on the path to success. It's something he hopes persons interested in creating apps and other software would keep in mind.
I say, like everything in life, just start. You may think, oh, I'm not ready, I need to learn some more. Don't believe that. Don't question yourself. Know your own abilities and just come to a hackathon. You'll join a team. You'll learn more in that weekend than you learn by yourself in weeks or months. So just start, just do it, come out, have a good time.
Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Members of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity spreading good cheer by spending some quality time with the precious pearls living at the Purses Rogers Home for the Aged on Hawthorne Road on Saturday. In addition to slamming dominoes, singing and sharing laughter through thought-provoking stories with the elderly there, the fraternity hosted a food and cleaning supply drive.
They reached out to us and said that they needed our assistance. So our aims of Mali Deed Scholarship and Love for All Mankind. So that is exactly what we did. We went out, got some donations, and came here to help Purses Rogers Home for the Aged. We've been playing dominoes, cards, having very lively and provocative discussions with them. They're great. They're great.
We're here to help the community and help people in the community who have a need. We saw a need here that they just needed people to come, interact with them, and make them feel a part of society.
And it was all about rum and food this weekend at the annual Rum Festival Bahamas, which took center stage on the historical Fort Charlotte grounds. Coincidentally, it's the third consecutive year and the last night of the event, and organizers are touting it a smashing success. More than 40 vendors displayed their unique cuisines and products at this year's festival, the largest participation in the festival's history. Festival organizer Catherine Mitchell gave a recap of what we may have missed out over the last 2 days.
We had legendary Ronnie Butler on the stage last night, making all the women still swoon after all these years. This is the third year. We're excited about the growth. We're excited to see how our vendors have developed in the festival marketplace after our micro-business training programs have brought such a fun energy to this whole event. Fort Charlotte, that looks over our beautiful city of Nassau, is being covered with our fun and different palette booths that feature everything from crafts to people painting masks. We have a Manji circus and they're beautiful performers everywhere. They're zip lining over the fort and flying high above us. We have a pirate mermaid draped across barrels and bars. And it's just a fun, family-friendly atmosphere that makes us really feel the best and brightest of the Bahamas.
Sports is up next with Jared Hayes.